What's good, everybody? It's your boy, Mr. CDK Boxing. Let's talk boxing. Listen, man, I'm about to pull up Marco Boxing and talk a little boxing with him. Y'all just give me 1 second, man. 1 second. See if he on here. She'll be able to join me in just a second. I just sent you a hit.
Hey, what's up?
Hey, man, how you doing, man? I gladly appreciate this, Marco.
Yeah, of course. No problem.
Yeah, I ain't gonna take up too much of your time. I know you're a busy man. I want to ask you, man, how credible is Rick Glazer?
I don't know. What up, Troy? My man, Troy. Um, I don't know. I've
Okay, yeah, I want
only
to.
talked to him once. I don't really know much about him. What's up, Smoke? Yeah, why?
Uh, I just seen a report from Rick Glazer saying that Floyd Mayweather was actually stuck in Dubai for what Javante Tank Davis said. You know what I'm saying? He said he spoke with someone, and it is true. The courts are holding him over there for undetermined amount of money that's owed. So I was just trying to see about that report right there.
I mean, yeah, I have no idea. I wouldn't be surprised though, right?
Man, yeah, I wouldn't be surprised either. It definitely wouldn't shock me. No, I've seen crazier things happen. So, you know what I'm saying? That's one thing I want to ask you. But I know you seen the Virgil Ortiz fight. It didn't last long, you know what I'm saying? But there's a lot of reports saying that him and Tim Tszyu are about to fight. Now, me personally, I got Tim Tszyu. I think that Virgil, you know, he was sick before these last two fights. He's still having trouble making the 154-pound weight limit. What do you think about that fight right there?
I don't know, man. That's a good fight. That's a really good fight. I'd have to lean towards Virgil. I'd have to lean towards Virgil. Yeah, Virgil's had a lot of inactivity, but it was up, Scott. He's had a lot of inactivity, but uh, I think I think he just seems a little bit more like the technically sound boxer between the two of them. But I do think Zoo is a good has a high boxing IQ. He's not just like a flat-footed power puncher like people think he is, and neither is Virgil. Um, I'd have to lean towards Virgil, but I wouldn't be surprised at all if Zoo, got him out of there.
Yeah, yeah, I can see, you know what I'm saying? It's definitely a 50-50 fight. You know what I'm saying? And like you said, the only thing I'm worried about with Virgil is the inactivity and, you know, him coming in at 155 pounds. Man, it seems like, man, if he's having trouble making 154, he must have really been struggling making 147.
Yeah, but it's also how old is Virgil now?
20, what, 26?
So there you go. Like when you start filling out, getting your man strength and all that stuff, your body changes, so it just becomes harder as you get older to make weight. Especially
Yeah,
that's common. All these guys start a good two or three weight classes below what they probably finish off fighting at.
yeah, they definitely do. They definitely. That's one thing that we know that is going to take place. You're going to grow into your man strength. You're going to get bigger, and you're going to move up in weight. And the smaller weights become hard to make. May 4th is right around the corner. You know what that is, man. Hammer McGill, Canelo Alvarez. Uh, I mean, I'm ready to see that fight. What that mean, Marco? What that mean?
I don't want to see that fight. I mean, like I love
Uh,
boxing. Like I
yeah,
love boxing, so I want to watch boxing. But we all
me
know
too.
who he should be fighting.
Oh my God. Thank you, man. I'm so glad to hear somebody that love the sport like I do say that, man, because it seems like a lot of people are trying to put Canelo Alvarez in their back pocket and hide this man from David Benavidez. And I really done got fed up with it, man. I be talking to my guy BVO. They keep saying, what has David done to deserve a fight with Canelo? And I don't understand that, man. I mean, what more can the man do? What more do they want out of him?
Yeah, no, that's it's possibly one of the worst avoidances in boxing history. You know, because so are you a boxing head? Like you go way back?
Yes.
Okay, so
Always back.
a lot of people say, well, Sugar Ray Leonard avoided Aaron Pryor. Okay, but Sugar Ray Leonard fought Duran, Hearns, and Hagler. So it's one thing if you're not fighting a specific fighter, but you're fighting all these other powerhouses. It's another thing when Benavidez is the only person in the division that is that talented, that would be that competitive. There's nobody close,
No,
and Canelo still doesn't want to fight him. That's what makes it so bad because there's no other choices. Nothing
man.
compares.
And you're right. And I agree 100% with you. I've never seen a duck like this. I'm going all the way back to Willie Pep, you know what I'm saying? And, trying to remember how long it took for him to get a title shot. And we was talking about that, but this is something different right here, you know what I'm saying? Canelo Alvarez, man, he said he wanted, 200 million, 150, 200 million to face this man. And that's just unheard of.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. Do you think we will get that fight?
I don't know. It doesn't look like it. It doesn't look like
Yeah.
it because he's probably going to go up now, Benavidez, and I don't think he's going to go back down to 68 after he's up.
Yeah, well, he's up now. He's at 175 right now for this next upcoming fight.
Right.
And what he just said the other day, I heard him in the interview. He said that he wants to win or better believe in Bivol. And then
Right.
he said he takes care of business and becomes undisputed at 175. He wants to face David Morrell as his first challenge. He wants to face David Morrell for his first title defense.
Wait, who does?
David Benavidez, he said in the interview recently, I just watched it like 2 days ago. He said if he wants the winner of Arthur and Dimitri, and he takes care of business with them and becomes undisputed. He said he wants his first title defense to be against David Morrell at 175.
Okay. I mean, I think Morrell hasn't really. I don't think Morrell's really like there yet. I think he's still. Was he only have like 10 fights, right?
I say the
12 fights.
same thing. I say the same thing you're saying, but you got people that believe that David Morrell beats David Benavidez. I don't see it.
No, I don't think so either. But yeah, there's a lot of people that think so. But yeah, I don't see that at all. No way.
Yeah, no way. I've been saying it over and over. I think it's an interesting fight, but 10 fights in, that's not enough. I don't believe.
Right.
I would love for him to get at least 5 or 6 more fights. For me, 5 or 6 more fights under his belt before he even thinks about getting in there with David Benavidez.
Yeah, I don't think anybody beats Benavidez. Possibly better BF, but
That's it.
I don't think
Yeah, that's it.
so.
I
Yeah.
agree with you. I think Arthur, because of the power, has the best chance of beating him. I don't think nobody else beats him around that weight class.
Right.
Yeah.
Agreed.
And I was looking at Turki Al-Sheikh. He's doing a lot for boxing right now, and he, from what I heard, reports he called David Benavidez and asked him could he come down to 160 to face Terrence Bud Crawford.
That's silly.
Yeah,
Silly talk.
silly talk. Yeah, I can't believe that. Me and you both know that there's no way possible David Benavidez can make 160.
No. I mean, but he's just trying to make the big fights. So at least he's trying, right?
Yeah, he's trying. He's trying. I agree with you. Man, Terrence Crawford got this upcoming fight, and I ain't gonna lie to you. The guy he's facing, I've seen a little bit of him. People say he's a really good fighter. You probably know more about him than I do. What do you think about who his next opponent?
What's up, King Amin? I'm sorry. Who's next opponent?
Terrence Bud Crawford.
Oh, I don't know, man. I don't know. I watched a little of him.
Yeah, me too.
He's a true 54 pounder. Tough. Eastern Bloc. Was he from Uzbekistan or Kazakhstan or one of those
Yeah,
stand countries?
yeah,
Um, I think Bud should beat him, right? Bud should outbox
he
him. But Bud
should. Salute.
but Bud could get in trouble if he gets caught, right?
Yeah,
Like if in an exchange, he could get in trouble. Like this guy has Uzbekistan. Thank you, Rohan. He has the power to shift the momentum of the fight if he catches Bud. Now remember, Bud's fighting at a higher weight class now.
definitely.
So we don't know what his punch resistance will be like against a true 154 pounder.
Right.
So, but if I had to bet, yeah, I'm going to bet on Bud for sure.
Yeah, definitely. And another thing that people got to take into consideration, man, this, Father Time is undefeated. And you never know when Father Time going to kick in. It comes out of nowhere sometimes. Terrence Bud Crawford is 37 years old. So we got to look at that too. Anything, you know what I'm saying, anything can happen, man.
Yeah. No, absolutely. That's totally true. It usually doesn't just happen like that. Usually it's a slow, they'll have one kind of shitty fight, then another one that's even worse, and then,
Mhm.
usually it's a slow progression. But yeah, it could just happen.
It could happen, yeah, definitely. And I'm so glad, man. What do you think about Jerron Booth signing with Matchroom, man?
Rohan, thank you, appreciate you. Jerome Boutin signing with Matchroom. I don't know. Like I usually don't follow that stuff. The all I don't even know what that means. Like I know a lot of fight fans follow that stuff. Like, well, that means he
Yeah,
can fight this part.
yeah,
I don't really know what that means. I know that yeah, it'll probably make it easier to fight certain fighters because they're under the same umbrella or whatever. But I know that if two fighters want to fight, any fight can be made. It doesn't matter who
yep,
you're siding with. I know
yep,
that for sure. You know what I mean?
yep, yep. And I'm just happy, man, that I'm like you when it comes to that aspect of just, but I'm just happy because he's been inactive, and I think that Eddie Hearn will get him active.
Hopefully.
Hopefully.
Yeah, hopefully
Right.
he'll be able to get bigger fights. I mean, Boots could possibly be better than Crawford, than all these guys, possibly.
I think he is. My personal opinion. People might think it's crazy. I'm real high on Boots. I think, man, he's the while the athlete in the ring, he's the closest thing to Roy Jones that I've seen. My personal
Yeah,
opinion.
Roy is my favorite fighter, so I don't think he's anything like Roy, but I
Yeah.
get what you mean in terms
No,
of he, he he's one of the most outstanding talents we've seen in a long time.
right,
Um,
right. That's what I'm saying. Their styles are different, but man, he's like since Roy, because Roy was different. Like you said, it's your favorite fighter. I see Boots like that. You know what I'm saying? Because I looked at Roy with real high regard. Man, Roy was really special, and I think Boots is special. And I don't think that we're gonna get. I don't think we're gonna see him and Bud Crawford. I don't know if it's possible, but I don't think we're gonna get to see that fight.
we might let's see, Boots is a 47 champion. I mean, you never know. You never know what could happen. Boots could end up winning a title and maybe even at 60 or because Boots is a big boy, and he's only what 25 or something.
He might be. I think he's 26. I could be wrong. You might be right.
He's young, so we might see them. I don't know. I do think Bud is. I think Bud needs to slow his roll a little bit. Like I heard him talking, he's like, "Oh, just three more fights, and then I'll be undisputed at 54, and then 60, 68." And I'm just like, or it was not really Boots talking. He was saying that, but it was not Boots. Excuse me, not Bud saying that, but Bomac was saying that. And I'm just like, this dude's like 38 years old. How many more fights do you think he has left in him?
I
Like
say one or two at the most.
yeah,
One or two at the most.
right. It's what you said. Like I that I think they're still really high off the Errol Spence fight. And they're like, oh, he's gonna conquer this and this, and it's like this dude has a few more years left. You
That's
know what I
it.
mean? Like
That's it.
he could be a Hopkins where he performs brilliantly in his early 40s. I mean, that's always possible, but it's unlikely.
I agree. If somebody asked our prediction for Better Beef and Bivol, I got Better Beef by stoppage, late round stoppage, maybe ninth or tenth round.
I agree. I
You
agree.
agree? Yeah. Thank you, man. Yeah, that's what I see happening, man. I just think Arthur Better Beef, man, he's different. He's a different type of fighter, and I think a lot of people are looking at the Canelo and Bivol fight, and before then, people wasn't even really that high on Bivol. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people didn't know who he was or whatever, but I think Better Beef, man. You see, Canelo took challenged him instead of Better Beef. That tells me everything I need to know. Canelo knew,
Yeah.
or he
Yeah.
thought he knew, or he thought he knew anyway.
Yeah. Exactly.
You know what I'm
Exactly.
saying? I wanted to ask you this because you were a professional boxer. You know a lot about making weight, and I've had this discussion with a lot of different people. And Devin Haney and Ryan Garcia. We seen what happened, what took place. Ryan Garcia was victorious, and I've had to make weight as an amateur or whatever. I know about cutting weight little bit, not as much as you, but I know about cutting weight.
I
And how do you
I actually, not to cut you off, but I actually never cut weight. I
never?
Nope. I always fought at my walk around. I never did that shit. I didn't play around with that. I didn't want to get my brain all fucked up. Nope.
Mhm.
And
Man,
as a pro, I only had a few pro fights, so and I wasn't fighting at the highest level as a pro. So maybe if I was, um, maybe than I would, because you get to the point where you're fighting at a disadvantage, because I walked around at 160. I was around 165,
Yeah.
right? But I'm getting in there with dudes who are really about 180. But
Mm.
they just cut that 15 pounds to make 168. So I might have ended up doing it. Like I probably could have made 160. I just felt mad weak doing that.
Right.
Um,
Right.
so I never did it. And if I was at the highest pro level, I probably would have had to, because,
Yep.
like I said, that I'm at a disadvantage. I'm fighting dudes who are like, I'm 5'11", right? I'd be fighting dudes who are like 6'3", 180.
Right.
So I probably would have. But anyway, the point is, I didn't do it as an amateur at all, and not as a pro either. But go ahead.
Right. Uh, so those 3 pounds, man, one coming in at 143. And what I don't like is the fact that I think Ryan Garcia, Derek James, and the whole team, they knew that Ryan Garcia wasn't gonna make 143. I mean, make 140. They knew that he was, gonna come in overweight. I feel like, do you feel like that they should have went ahead and said from the beginning, told Devin, like, man, listen, I can't make the weight. Let's do it at a catch weight. You know what I'm saying? And do you think the weight could have made a difference in that fight? I think it had a lot to do with Devin's game plan. I think the fight, the way he tried to go in there was all wrong. But I'm still just throwing it out there because people have asked me that.
No, no, I don't think 3 pounds had anything to do with anything. 3 pounds is nothing. The average body, the average human fluctuates 5 pounds throughout 24 hours. All of
Mm-hmm.
us, you,
Yeah.
me,
Yep.
Devin, all of us. So no, I, I don't think his game plan had anything to do with it. I think it was simply a case of Ryan's reflexes. I was kind of like this when I fought. Not to be arrogant or whatever, but it's true. I was. I had real fast hands. So when I saw an opening, second I saw an opening, my brain and my fists talked to each other in instant second timing. So I could hit you if I saw an opening, and very few people had the reflexes to get out of the way.
Yeah.
Ryan has
Yeah.
Ryan has that fast twitch muscle, that speed, that he can hit Devin before Devin saw it coming. So it didn't matter what game plan Devin did.
Right.
Everybody has every fighter has an opening when they fight at some point. Every fighter will
Mm-hmm.
drop a hand, or everybody has an opening.
Definitely.
And Devin just wasn't fast enough to get out of the way. So there's
Mm-hmm.
nothing he could have done. Nothing.
Yeah. So you
Maybe if he, let's say he was weight trained, maybe if he wasn't weight trained, maybe he'd be able to have better punch resistance and not get wobbled every time he got hit. Maybe that.
Yep.
But
Yep.
that's it.
That's definitely it. And I said before the fight, you know what I'm saying? You remember the Floyd Mayweather and Zab Judah fight? I said, man, I felt like in the early rounds, Floyd he was having problems adjusting to the speed of Zab Judah. I think Devin Haney was never able to adjust to the speed of Ryan Garcia, and you can see that. And I called it before the fight. I said, I
Well,
think he's gonna have, you know what I'm
I
saying? He might have problems adjusting.
I just did a video. It's funny you say that. I just dropped a video on that fight, the Zab and Floyd fight.
Oh wow.
Because in that fight, that was the only time Floyd Mayweather ever really got dropped. The ref didn't call it a knockdown, but
Yeah.
anybody, pull up my video if you want, or just go to that fight in the second round. Zab hits him with a check hook, drops him. His glove touches the ground, but the referee calls it a split, which it was a bad call.
Mm-hmm.
But whatever. The reason, though, is, let's say Zab continued to drop Floyd, right? Because Floyd has one of the greatest chins in boxing history. Like, that motherfucker didn't get dazed ever, almost.
Yeah.
And he had unbelievable recovery, like punch recovery. Like, he swallowed grenades from Sugar Shane Mosley, and
Yeah.
he recovered, held on for a little, and cleared his head like that.
Mm-hmm.
So, but let's say Zab kept hitting Floyd, which he did. But let's say Floyd kept going down. That'd been a whole different fight. First on points, and also mentality. Now Floyd's like, oh shit, I could go down anytime he touches me. Everything
Mm-hmm.
changes. Everything changes. So it
It
was about
definitely
the
does.
punch resistance in this case that Devin Haney didn't have.
He didn't have it either. He definitely didn't have it. And you said something that was key. It could have been from being weight drained and all of that.
Could have
That man,
been.
that right there was
Could have been.
a
Yeah.
real, yeah, it was a real breakdown right there. I'm gonna ask you one more thing, and I'm gonna let you get out of here. We got Javante Tank Davis and Frank Martin. I think Frank Martin is an excellent fighter. I don't think it's a cherry pick as some people think. You know what I'm saying? I just want to see how you feel about that fight.
Um. You know, first I was shitting on it because I think I don't want to support any fight that's not. I mean, at the time, Haney just lost. So Haney, now it's Garcia, Shakur, or Tio. I don't want to support any fight that Tank has. It's not one of those three, right?
Right.
But I watched a little of Frank Martin recently because I didn't know that much about him. I didn't watch him much.
Okay.
He's pretty good.
He is.
You
He is.
know, he's pretty good, and he's a southpaw.
Yeah.
Um,
Mm.
he might give Tank some problems.
I think he is.
Because he has speed, he has good speed, and he has good combination punching, and he has power, but his is more speed as power. He's dropping dudes because they don't see the punch coming.
Right.
He's not a hard puncher, but he's like that snappy, quick. They don't see him coming.
Right.
But can he take Tank's punch?
Man, that's the
Has,
question right there.
has he been down before? Frank Martin, do you know?
I've seen like 5 of his fights. I ain't never seen him go down in no fight. I don't know. I don't want to say no. You know what I'm saying? And be lying on her. So I don't know if he's been down before.
Yeah, I don't think he has been either, but I don't know for sure at all.
Right.
I I still pick Tank to beat him, but I give him. I think it'll be an interesting fight, and he's going to fight too.
Yes, he
So
is.
they're both going to fight, so it'll be fun. What's up, Danny? What's going on? Um, yeah, so it'll be fun. I still have to pick Tank, but
Me
Frank,
too.
but Frank would impress me. I really didn't. I haven't done that much research on him till recently. Just yesterday, actually, I was watching him,
Okay.
and his last fight though. I think he didn't look that good, right?
No, he didn't. He didn't look as good as he usually looks. His last fight was probably the worst fight I've seen him have. You know what I'm saying? He didn't. He really didn't. But I think he's gonna be okay. I think he's gonna really be focused in this Tank fight. He's gonna be focused and ready.
He is. He is, and we'll see what happens. But I mean, Tank is just so skilled at punch placement and countering and putting and setting traps, and he punches so hard. I mean, this little dude, I would say he hits like a light heavyweight.
Man, you're right. And I talked to. I don't know if you know Joey Barrera, but he's the nephew of Felix Trinidad, and he's 11 and
Joe,
one, and
well,
he's
yeah,
fought.
yeah, yeah, yeah. He's cool with King Kong Ortiz, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
he
yeah,
told me, man.
yeah. Yeah, I
He
know
said,
him.
yeah, he said Tank is the only person to ever drop him in sparring or hurt him. I can't remember. He said drop or hurt, but he said Tank punches like somebody that's 165, 170, 180 somewhere around there. He said he got that type of power, and he sparred Rolly, he sparred Devin. I think he sparred Sabriba Matil. He sparred everybody. He said Tank punches harder than all of them.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I've interviewed Tank's coaches, and they've told me they've seen Tank drop. I think heavyweights. They told me. So I'm
Man,
pretty sure they said they've seen him drop heavyweights.
I can believe it. I can believe it. That dude's different. But I'm like you. He's 29 years old right now. He's almost 30, and he should have a Devin Haney, Teofimo Lopez, a Lomachenko on his record by now.
He just,
That's what I don't
I
like.
just saw him tweet something like Tank.
Shakur.
No, something. After this deal or after something, I'm done with boxing. I'm gonna help the young guys coming up. Something like he's gonna retire after a deal. Did he say? Or anybody watching? What did he say? He said after a deal or after
He
this.
got a
He's,
he got a
basically
six.
talking about retiring soon.
Yeah, he has a 6 fight deal. He just signed a 6 fight deal with PBC Al
So,
Heyman.
he said after that he's retiring.
Yes, that's what he said. But he told Shakur Stevenson that you will be included in this 6 fight deal.
Good. It should be
You know what I'm
Shakur, Tio, Ryan again, maybe
saying?
depending. If Ryan keeps winning and knocking people out, they need to rematch. But
Right.
because I do believe there's something to be said about Ryan being weight trained and just I believe it. You know,
I do too.
it's still
I
on
do.
him for taking the fight, and the truth is they just might not be in the same weight class.
They're not.
They might not be because again we're talking about developing into man strength. Ryan
Mhm.
now is developing, and look at him; he looks so much bigger
Yeah, he
than he
does.
than he did. They fought a year ago. It was just 1 year ago, and you see the difference. So that fight might not happen because they might not be in the same weight class. But Shakur definitely. I think Tio most likely. Um, and if Tank can beat all of these contemporaries, he can go down as one of the greatest fighters in history, right?
Definitely, definitely, I definitely agree with you. You know what I'm saying?
And if he walks away at 32, 33, undefeated, beating all these people, it's genius because so few fighters walk away when they're supposed to. They keep going, and they not only tarnish their legacy, but they end up taking too many shots, and they end up, fucking up their future and their mental, they sustain neurological damage, and all these things happen from fighting too long. you know, I interviewed Roy, Roy a bunch of times, and Roy, who, as I said, is my favorite, but he said, if I had it to do all over again, he goes, I would have retired after the first Tarver fight.
Wow. Mm.
And if he did that, he would have walked away as the greatest to ever do it.
He would have.
Really, if he would have retired after beating Ruiz, he would have been that would have been perfect. But because
Yeah,
Tarver fight, even though he won, it was really close.
it
The
was.
first one.
It was close. It was real
Yeah.
close. I mean, that's what made him do it again. Because people was crying about it was close, and some people had picked out Tarver won that fight. You know what I'm saying? It was a really good fight.
He's too competitive. Roy's too competitive, and I get it. I'm like that too. When somebody almost beats you, you're like, oh, really? Well, I'll show
Hmm.
you. Let's do it again. But sometimes you gotta just, what's up, K9? Sometimes you gotta just, stop, stop, just walk away. Boxing is not like anything else. Even in the NBA, you play too long, yeah, your knees might get shot. You might need a hip transplant, but
Yeah.
your quality of life won't be affected. Your neurological um, your neurological composition it won't get affected. This is the one sport that you cannot overstay your welcome
You
because
can't.
it's not worth it, man. Like you, you seem, you're older like I am, and you've lived life, and there's so much more to life than after you're 30, after your
Oh
20s, because boxing is pretty much
man.
done after your 20s or mid 30s. You're done.
Definitely, definitely. I definitely agree with you, man. And I hate to see like a lot of these old fighters that, man, I really love when they got their speeches slurred, they have problems talking, their equilibrium is off when you see them walking. I mean, you can pick up on all that, man. I just really hate to see it. And the thing about tanking these fighters now, they're making so much money that they really don't have to stay around as long. We had the Mike Tyson, we know what type of money he was making, but Tank them are getting paid. The smaller weight, they're getting paid where they don't have to keep continuously put their life on the line like that. They can walk away and live the rest of their lives in good health and spend it with their families and stuff. And that's where it should be. You know what I'm saying? I just think nobody should be fighting past, man. I really, by the time you're 33 or 34, you know what I'm saying, you're at that age where, man, things can start looking real different in the ring for you.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. And there's exceptions, obviously.
Yep,
Or if a fighter started later, because then you have way less mileage on you.
yep.
Um, it's always an exception, but as a general rule, yeah. I mean, mid 30s, you should. And if you remember back in the 80s and 90s, 30 was old in every sport, even in the NBA. Like everybody's like 30 is. So now they've given you, because of sports science and evolution and nutrition, you got another 35, 40 now is the new 30.
Yeah,
You
it
know,
is. It definitely is. I think that's why you see the Tom Brady's and LeBron Jameses they're able to stick around a lot longer now because of sports science and what it's done, man. People are having, super long careers.
yeah,
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 that's
absolutely.
why, man. Well, I appreciate you, Marco, man. It's always a pleasure talking to you, man. And as always, man, you know your boxing. I love
Appreciate
your
it.
channel. I enjoy it. Man, let everybody know where they can find you at if you don't mind before you get out of here.
I
Most
appreciate
people
you,
know.
man. Yeah, of course. Marco Boxing, right? I mean, right now, the one I'm talking to you on, anybody watching. And then same thing on YouTube. Marco, it's 3 underscores boxing. It's that on TikTok, um, Twitter, X, whatever, all that stuff. It's the same. Dropping daily videos, doing my own lives. Do you follow me on YouTube?
Yes, yeah, I follow you on YouTube.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I'm doing daily YouTubes, um, daily lives. I'm trying to build that platform because the daily lives is a whole different fan base than just dropping normal videos. It's weird. So
Wow. Yeah, man. Y'all catch me, man, on YouTube or here. CDK Boxing. The CDK is capital and boxing is lowercase, and but the whole word is together on YouTube, man. Y'all check me out. You know what I'm saying? And check out Marco, man. We out of here.
appreciate you. Peace
Appreciate
out.
you, man. Bye bye.